do you now believe that those states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, that's the most favorable path to victory? And is the Sun Belt more out of reach at this point?
Not at all. I mean, we have multiple pathways to 270, Dana, that I think is really important in a presidential race. So when you look at, Nevada and Arizona, Georgia and North Carolina, they're all incredibly close, as are the blue wall states. So there's 7 states that are going to come down to a very small margin. And we're trying to reach every voter we can. That's voters who haven't yet decided who are going to vote, voters that we think are going to support us who haven't decided whether to vote yet, and want to close as strong as we can. So no, we think all 7 states now remain incredibly competitive, and Kamala Harris has a pathway to win in each of them.
Let's talk about the messaging in order to reach those sliver of voters in all of those 7 key states. Your campaign, the candidate herself, gotten a lot more aggressive in going after Donald Trump's behavior. Just one example is a new ad from your campaign I want to play.
Donald Trump makes a lot of promises, but we can be sure of one thing. If he wins, he'll ignore all checks that rein in a president's power. A second Trump term, more unhinged, unstable, and unchecked.
David, nearly every one of Donald Trump's opponents over the past 9 years or so made their race about Trump's behavior or his character, and almost all of them have lost. Marco Rubio, Hillary Clinton, Nikki Haley, and just naming a few there. What are you seeing in your data that makes you think this is going to help you right now?
Well, I'm glad you asked about data, Dana. We're obviously not going to do things that are not consistent with how we think we will win this race with the voters that will decide it. So I'd say a couple things. First of all, we just read this morning Trump's own campaign is saying the reason that he's canceling appearances, he won't do a town hall on your network, won't do a second debate, is because he's exhausted. So this is important. I've worked in the White House. It's the hardest job in the world. And I think it raises real questions. If somebody can't handle the campaign trail because they're so exhausted, whether they're fit to be president. Now, that ad, all the other messaging we're doing, and I think you just have to watch him every day. He is more unstable, more unhinged, and he's got a plan in Project 2025 that wants to give him unchecked power. Someone like that needs guardrails. He's saying he doesn't want any guardrails. We're also making sure that all the other people who worked for him, former chiefs of staff, national security advisors, defense secretaries, are in our advertising. So the people say the people closest to him say this about him. But we're very much connecting it to the average person, which is someone like this wants to enact a reckless tariff and tax plan that would add thousands of dollars to the average middle class family's tax bill. He tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act 60 times. He wants to do it again. You're going to pay a big price for his instability and the fact that he is after unchecked power. So when we talk to those swing voters that are still deciding, the notion, we're trying to paint a picture. One of these two people is going to be in the White House. When you think about Donald Trump, increasingly unstable, desirous of unchecked power, how's that going to work out for you? And what we hear from a lot of voters is deep concern.